Marc Hale with the New York Post coming to you from our studio in Manhattan. We talked to you about the Knicks, who have a big game tonight against the Orlando Magic, and I want to bring in our Knicks beat writer, the esteemed Marc Berman. And Berman, Knicks are coming off obviously a very critical win the other night against Milwaukee, but they're battling a million injuries: Stoudemire, Jeremy Lin, Carmelo Anthony. Do you think this team, which is 2.5 games ahead of Milwaukee for the final playoff spot, do you think they have enough to fend off the Bucks down the stretch?
Yeah, I think they have enough of a cushion now, 2.5 game lead. They even have a chance to win the tiebreaker if they beat the Bucks in their next meeting with them. I think without Stoudemire, because of their depth, I think they'll be able to stave off Milwaukee. But, down the road in the first round of the playoffs, are they going to be able to catch Philadelphia and get out of that 7th or 8th seed? I think it's unlikely. And as a result, they're going to have to play the Bulls or the Heat in the first round, and without Stoudemire, unless he's able to come back in the first round of the playoffs, I think it's going to be very difficult. And I do think they're going to sneak into the playoffs.
Marc, let's talk more about Amar'e. How concerned are you that this is going to be a long-term issue for him?
I think I'm very concerned, and I think the Knicks knew they were taking a risk when they gave him $100 million in the summer of 2010. They were the only team willing to give him a guaranteed $100 million. He had, his body was beat up from, microfracture surgery, and the Suns did not want to give him the guaranteed money. And he's now the second back issue he's had. Mm-hmm. They say it's different, but, a disc and muscular situations are different. But basically, when you have a bad back, it lingers, and he's no spring chicken. And I think the Knicks are going to be very concerned down the road, and he could be trade bait this summer, but whether his contract is going to be marketable is highly questionable.
Talk with Marc Berman, our Knicks beat writer, as Knicks get set to take on the Magic tonight at the Garden. Knicks now at 25-25 on the season. Marc, the other night, Carmelo Anthony, big game for the Knicks. He'd been struggling, but without Stoudemire, without Lin, Carmelo puts up 28 points, grabs 12 rebounds. The Knicks win the game against Milwaukee. With Amar'e out, and possibly with Jeremy Lin out as well, with the sore left knee, who besides Carmelo needs to kind of elevate their game for the Knicks to continue winning?
Yeah, well, Tyson Chandler, I'm very confident, is going to play a great final 16 games without Stoudemire. Last night against the Bucks, he was all over the boards, keeping alive possessions. He's had a terrific season, and I think he's going to continue. But when they get Jeffries back, he's got to be not only defensively, but he's got to chip in on the offensive end, and that's not his strong suit. But Jeffries is still hurt. They're going to need Novak. Teams are really paying attention to him. He's got to pick up the scoring from Stoudemire's absence. He's got to somehow find ways to get free at the three-point line. Again, teams paying more attention to him. And they need more consistency from Iman Shumpert. He had a big three-pointer against Milwaukee late to ice it. He's got to find that three-point shot. He's been a little streaky as a rookie. Those are the guys I really think that have to make up for, Stoudemire and Lin, and obviously Baron Davis has to commit less turnovers and be more in control.
Marc, one last thing before we let you go here. Mike Woodson is on an interim basis, interim head coach for the Knicks right now. He's 7-1, but obviously there's no guarantee he's going to be the head coach next season. I'm curious whether you think these injuries, especially if Amar'e doesn't return this season, I'm curious if you think these injuries will be factored into how the Knicks organization evaluates Mike Woodson over the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a tough blow for Woodson to lose Stoudemire like this. But if they keep winning, not on a 7-1 pace, but if they continue to win, make the playoffs, and give Miami or Chicago a fight if that's the first round opponent, I think Dolan's got to say, hey, this guy's done a good job. Dolan's very loyal. If Tyson Chandler, Amar'e, and Carmelo are behind Mike Woodson, I think he's going to get a contract extension unless Phil Jackson really wants the job and Dolan feels comfortable that Phil is going to be his type of coach where Phil wants a tremendous amount of control. I don't know if Dolan's willing to give it all up, but I think Woodson has a shot if they have to win, and they don't have to win as much as if they had Stoudemire, but I think he's still got to win.
All right, plenty of things going on with this team right now. Obviously, Amari Stoudemire with his back injury, and Carmelo Anthony questionable with his groin tweak. Jeremy Lin's sore left knee. The Knicks will be back at it tonight at the Garden against the Magic. We thank Marc, obviously, for his contributions. You can follow him on Twitter at nypost_Berman, and you can read Marc and me both in the Post at nypost.com. For Marc, I'm Marc. Thanks for watching.